let me go. I know I was wrong. I won't dare to do it again. Guribo extinguished his cigarette and thought to himself, as Mr. Wu predicted, it was indeed Cao Liangpeng. He stood up and ordered his men, continue beating him. Beat him until he's in the same condition as Mao Rusong. Don't worry, I'll take care of the medical expenses. At the same time, Wu Chen was driving at 200 kilometers per hour. Li Rubing asked, "What does En Menglun want now? Didn't you just come back from Shanghai yesterday? Just answer the phone and you'll know." Li Rubing answered the call. "Oh, it's not Mr. Wu, it's Miss Li. What's the matter?" En Menglun said, "The trending topic has subsided, and we've found out who's behind it. Now I want to discuss the previous matter with Mr. Wu. He wants 50% of Menghua Music's shares. How much did he ask for?" 50%. Li Rubing was stunned. "What, do you want to agree now? We didn't finish discussing it last time. This time, I want to discuss it further with Mr. Wu. I want to ask when he's coming to Shanghai." Li Rubing was silent for a moment. While listening to En Menglun on the phone, Li Rubing thought to herself, En Menglun can agree to Wu Chen's unreasonable request, which means the one being bewitched is not Wu Chen, but her. She then said to En Menglun, "Wu Chen will arrange his own trip to Shanghai. Do you want to talk to him?" En Menglun declined. "No need. Miss Li, please help me convey the message to Mr. Wu. I'm hanging up." Li Rubing whispered to Wu Chen, "Honey, your methods are quite impressive. You've only been in Shanghai for 2 days and you've already made En Menglun willing to give you 50% of her shares. You're truly worthy of being my man, but let's not talk about En Menglun anymore. Are you going to see Qinjing?" Hearing this, Li Rubing was surprised. "Yesterday, Qinjing just asked for a child, and today you're in a hurry to make a baby." Wu Chen looked at Li Rubing and replied, "It's broad daylight. Qinjing is still busy with work. I'm going there to deal with other matters. If anyone asks, just say I'm delivering documents to her." Li Rubing nodded and turned her head away. Okay. It seems like you have a new plan. Go ahead and do your thing." 10 minutes later, Wu Chen arrived at Qinjing's office. He thought to himself, once Qinjing gets pregnant, she definitely won't be able to hide the symptoms during pregnancy. No matter how bad her father's health is, he will find out sooner or later. Qinjing would rather die than reveal the identity of the baby's fathers. Su Ruin will definitely be furious. Then there will be countless rumors, and the stock price of Jinfa Group will plummet. Competitors will take the opportunity to seize shares. Without control of the group, Qinjing and the baby will face trouble in the future. I'm here today to prevent that from happening." Upon entering the door, Wu Chen asked the receptionist, "Is President Su here?" The receptionist asked, "May I ask who you are?" Seeing Wu Chen, Qinjing's eyes lit up. "Mr. Wu." She coughed a few times and said to the receptionist, "Zizhong, go to the finance department and check the invoice for Feng Huaru's last month." The receptionist was confused. "Huh, there's such an invoice. Okay, I'll go right away." After the receptionist left, Qinjing closed the door. She rushed over and hugged Wu Chen. "Honey, I'm so happy you came to see me. I just asked for a baby yesterday, and you're already here today. I can't wait any longer." Wu Chen whispered in her ear, "We're at the company, control yourself." At this moment, Qinjing's father, Su Ruin, opened the door and walked in. "Qinjing, there's a part of the document from this morning's meeting that hasn't been completed yet." Qinjing hurriedly stepped away from Wu Chen. Her father saw this and thought to himself, something strange. It seems like she and the young man beside her have something going on. "Who is he?" Qinjing introduced. "Dad, this is Wu Chen, Mr. Wu. This is my father." Su Ruin recalled Wu Chen, the man who took Qinjing away from the golf course. He also remembered the rumors about Wu Chen. "Wu Chen is my sworn brother. Anyone who wants to make things difficult for Wu Chen is making things difficult for Lu Guangnian. Wu Chen is so outstanding. Who would dare to make things difficult for him? I'm no longer in my 20s, otherwise I would have asked to marry Wu Chen. Recently, the Tang family and the Li family almost became enemies. Zhao Guozi was almost killed. I heard it was thanks to Mr. Wu's mediation. Su Ruin stepped forward and shook hands with Wu Chen. I've heard a lot about Mr. Wu recently. You're young and promising. But you and Qin Jing? Wu Chen replied, Rubing is busy, so I came here to deliver documents to Miss Su for her. Su Ruin seemed unconvinced and asked his daughter, is that so? Qin Jing, show me the documents. Qin Jing panicked. Dad, let me find it. Su Ruin looked at his daughter's flustered demeanor and thought to himself, the documents were just delivered, and she still needs to find them. How can she be so clumsy? Something's definitely wrong. Let me see what they're up to. Seeing his daughter struggling to find the documents, Su Ruin said, Qin Jing, stop looking. It doesn't matter whether you see them or not. You can handle the cooperation with Feng Huaruz yourself. Mr. Wu, is there anything else after delivering the documents? Or would you like to come to my office and chat? I've heard a lot about you recently. Qin Jing was worried about Wu Chen. Dad, Mr. Wu and Miss Li are busy with their work. Wu Chen whispered to Qin Jing, it's okay, don't worry. He then accepted Su Ruin's invitation. Okay, Mr. Wu, you didn't come here just to deliver documents, did you? Wu Chen admitted frankly, Mr. Su, you're truly the richest man in the city. Nothing can be hidden from you. Su Ruin looked at Wu Chen with a scrutinizing gaze. Using the excuse of delivering documents to see my daughter, and Qin Jing even lied to me. Mr. Wu, can you explain this to me? Miss Qin Jing is helping me keep a secret. We have an agreement. I helped her before, and she won't betray me. Hearing this, Su Ruin became even more curious. Secret? What secret? Knowing the old man's curiosity, Wu Chen further provoked him. I can't say. This time, Rubing asked me to come here to help Miss Su solve some problems related to the internal affairs of Jinfu Group. Su Ruin sneered. The affairs of Jinfu Group that Li Rubing knows before me? She even wants to help me solve them. The Li family is too overbearing. Wu Chen replied calmly, the second largest shareholder, Xu Zhenyuan. Hearing the name of his subordinate, Su Ruin said, Xu Zhenyuan is very loyal and dedicated to the group. Although he's a bit stubborn, but capable people are often stubborn. I don't think there's anything wrong with him. I don't think he would do anything to harm the group. Wu Chen asserted, it's true that he hasn't done anything, but the problem is not what Xu Zhenyuan will do, but that he himself is a problem as long as he's still within Jinfu Group. Su Ruin snorted at Wu Chen's cryptic words. Wu Chen continued, seeing Miss Su receiving support from the board of directors, Mr. Su must have accelerated the progress. Perhaps within this year, you will let Miss Su take over, right? You mean after Qin Jing becomes the chairman, Su Zhenyuan will be dissatisfied? Wu Chen declared firmly, Su Zhenyuan will definitely be a threat to Miss Su's future. If you want to prevent factionalism and power struggles, it's best to deal with Xu Zhenyuan now. Su Ruin's eyes now showed a bit more trust in Wu Chen. He asked, how does Miss Li want to handle this? Wu Chen immediately proposed solutions to deal with Su Zhenyuan. Imprisonment or death. Su Ruin broke out in a cold sweat. He thought to himself, based on what I know, the only thing that could put Xu Zhenyuan in jail is the smuggling he was forced to do with the underworld more than a decade ago due to the losses of the company he managed. But why would he need to be killed? I've never heard of Li Rubing resorting to such extreme measures. Even if it's to help Qin Jing, suggesting to kill someone is too much. Moreover, what if she has a falling out with Qin Jing one day? It's unimaginable. Seeing his hesitation, Wu Chen urged, Xu Zhenyuan has done many evil things, Mr. Su. You should quickly help Miss Su get rid of this ticking time bomb. Su Ruin was taken aback. He did many evil things. Wu Chen then recounted Su Zhenyuan's past. In Su Ruin's eyes, he was just an unfortunate man forced into smuggling. After Jinfu acquired his company, he worked diligently. But in reality, Su Zhenyuan was a terrifying individual. His daughter fell in love early, and her boyfriend was beaten to disability by gangsters, forcing him to drop out of school. A driver who accidentally bumped into his car was severely beaten into a vegetative state and is still hospitalized. His mistress wanted to become his official wife and demanded to make their relationship public. He immediately had her buried alive in the industrial park on the outskirts of the city. There are countless other evil deeds that are too numerous to mention. Mr. Su, Do you really want to keep such a person by Miss Su's side? Su Ruin was shocked. Su Zhenyuan has worked for me for more than 10 years. I didn't expect him to be such a vicious person. Is Wu Chen lying, Mr. Wu? Are the things you said true? Wu Chen assured him, if you don't believe me, you can easily investigate the truth. There's no reason for me to lie. Su Ruin loved his daughter dearly. If Su Zhenyuan was truly such a person, he couldn't keep him by Qinjing's side. So, the specific location of his mistress's body is. Wu Chen showed Su Ruin a location on his phone. The Northern Industrial Park on the outskirts of the city, behind Warehouse No. 5 of the TI.